This week's video, the one you're watching now, will be on YouTube. Next week's video will be on Patreon.
The ability to build custom shelves is the cornerstone of a well-organized life. We're building a medium-sized shelf, 5.5 inches deep, up to 40 inches in length. You can screenshot this list of tools that you'll need. Here's what they look like: tape measure, pencil, combo square, power saw, sandpaper, 100 grit, power drill, 3/32 inch drill bit, number 2 Phillips bit and holder, 5/16 inch masonry bit, hammer, level, and supplies you'll need. You can screenshot this as your shopping list. A 1x6 pine board up to 40 inches in length. The actual dimensions are 3/4 inch by 5.5 inch for some reason. 4-inch corner braces, 2-pack. These are not shelf brackets. These are not designed for shelf building. They're in the hardware aisle at Home Depot. They're called corner braces. 3/4 inch number 8 flathead sheet metal screws. You'll need 4 of them per shelf, but the corner braces usually come with 8 of them. Cobra triple grip wall anchors, size number 10. They're sort of Gulf Porsche blue in color. Don't use the cheaper ones. Use the Cobra triple grip ones only. 1.5 inch number 10 panhead sheet metal screws. The Cobra triple grip anchors come with crappy ones, but do yourself a favor and buy new screws separately. Phillips head only, always. These anchors are for drywall. If you're installing a shelf into masonry like brick or concrete, you'll use Tapcon, but we'll worry about that later. Measure your wall, measure your board, mark your board with a little line, use your combo square and draw a square line on your board. Cut your board. Sand your board, edges and corners, just to prevent splinters. Don't go crazy. Line up your corner brace on your board such that the screw holes face the outside of the shelf like this, about a 1/2 inch from the shelf edge to prevent splitting. Alert! Make sure the corner brace is even with the shelf edge before you mark it. Even with the shelf edge and square to the board. Mark the holes. Like a ninja, pre-drill your holes exactly in the center. Mount your corner brace like this. Not too tight. Don't strip the screw holes. Use the same process to mount the other corner brace. Note that we mount the corner brace about a 1/2 inch from the shelf's edge to prevent splitting the wood. Mark 1 corner brace hole. 1 hole only. Upper right probably if you're right-handed. Mark 1 hole only. Like a ninja, screw one of your 1.5 inch sheet metal screws into the exact center of your marked hole. This step is to check if you are screwing into a stud.
Your walls are spackled and painted to hide the location of the studs that support them, and Surfshark VPN, a $2.49 per month service, covers up everything you do online. Surfshark VPN encrypts your information, which hides what you're doing and where you're doing it from. If you're trying to live stream from a country that won't let you, having Surfshark VPN can fix that. Other countries, Netflix or streamers have movies you can't watch from your country. Having Surfshark VPN can fix that. Surfshark VPN works with your tablet, phone or computer, and you can install it on unlimited devices with one subscription. Surfshark VPN is a Dutch company, and in the Netherlands, it's illegal for them to collect and store your personal data. They have over 3,200 servers in 100 countries, streaming capacity of 10 gigabits, ad and malware blocker, cookie pop-up blocker, 24/7 support, $2.49 a month. 30-day money-back guarantee. Click on the link in this video's description. Use the code Neistat for 3 months of free service. Thank you, Surfshark, for supporting this episode, and thank you, Studs, for supporting our walls.
Drywall is essentially plaster sandwiched between poster board. Drywall is brittle, and a screw will strip it easily. We use wall anchors for strength when mounting our shelf to drywall, but if we happen to mount our shelf into a stud, we don't need wall anchors. A stud is plenty strong to support our shelf on its own. And boring an anchor hole into a stud causes problems down the road, so we check with a screw to make sure we are not drilling into a stud. We know we are not screwing into a stud if the screw screws in with relative ease, and when screwed all the way home, the screw will spin freely and easily enough to turn with our fingers. If, on the other hand, we screw our screw about halfway home and it becomes notably more difficult to drive in, we have most likely hit a stud, and thus we do not need a triple grip anchor, and we can't use one. You have about a 1 in 15 chance of unintentionally hitting a stud. If you've hit a stud, great, you don't need a wall anchor. Once you've determined that you have not hit a stud, bore a hole for your anchor with the 5/16 inch masonry bit that comes with your triple grip anchors. Do not push too hard. Moderate pressure lest you blow out the back of the sheetrock like a hollow point bullet. Finesse. Blow the drywall dust out of the hole. Mush the triple grip anchor so it will go into the hole more readily. You can use your teeth to mush it too. With finesse, not force, work the triple grip into the hole, but do not use a twisting motion. Go straight in. You can lightly tap it with a hammer, but be careful not to crush the triple grip into itself. It needs to stay skinny as it goes into the hole. Screw the corresponding corner brace into the wall anchor. You'll feel the screw pull the anchor, then expand the anchor before the torque increases to its limit. Do not strip the anchor hole by tightening the screw too much. The anchor should never spin or turn in its hole. Level the shelf, taking care not to scratch your wall with the corner brace. Mark the opposite side corner brace hole. Test that hole for a stud. Either screw into a stud or drill a hole for your triple grip anchor. Screw the corner brace in with a 1.5 inch panhead sheet metal screw. Make sure your shelf stays level. Now mark the remaining 2 corner brace holes. Remove the shelf. Drill the bottom holes and install anchors. Unless you've hit a stud, then you don't need to. Install the shelf with 1.5 inch sheet metal screws, making sure it's level, and you're done.
If your walls are brick, concrete, or Cinderblock, it's fundamentally the same technique, but you use Tapcon. It's the best. Don't bother with anything else. Tapcon is the best. I'm not being paid by them. This is Cinderblock, so you mark 1 hole. You gotta have a hammer drill to use Tapcon, so you switch into hammer mode, wear ear protection. Like a ninja, find the center. And for this, you have to use a lot of pressure. This is not a finesse job. A gorilla job. 5/16 driver, 1/4 by 1 1/4 inch Tapcon with the hex head like this. And then drive it in pretty tight so that it stays up on its own. Then you level, mark the other holes, hammer drill the remaining 3, drive in your 4 Tapcon pretty loosely, then tighten all of them all the way home. And anchored into concrete or brick or cinder block, these things are very, very, very strong.
On this week's Patreon-only video,
This style shelf you can build without power tools, and it's good practice for the bigger shelves. The ability to build custom shelves is the cornerstone of an organized life.